All right, so let's get right into it. Here's another demonstration of Orgon scalar energy devices in action. How to use them, how to make them. PoorMans Orgonite, make them with no money or hardly any money, or with just everyday products or everyday items that you can use or see around your house or stuff most commonly used. So I could take pretty much like a penny, paperclip, a rock off the ground. Doesn't have to be a fancy or pretty stone or nothing. It could be literally that rock right there. It could be any one of these. It could be any rock, any stone, because most of these are all stones and they're all quartz and silica, most of them, majority of them. So they all work. It doesn't have to be a stone like a gemstone or polish. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It could just be that rock. Like I'm telling you, take a paper clip, a penny, a rock off the ground. It could be a little tiny one, and a magnet. It doesn't have to be super strong or anything. Of course, if it is stronger, the better and all that. But I'm just saying it could still work. So if I take these four things, a paperclip, a penny, a rock, and a magnet, I could set them up and organize it in a way that will literally do the same thing that this is doing right now to these clouds. And what's happening is, you see above me, it's real clouds, right? Kind of. See, they're going to get puffy right now, just like those are over there. So what this is doing is it's basically um, reversing everything. So if the chemtrails are falling on us and the heavy nanometals and nanobots and all that are falling on us, well, this is going to reverse it, make it go opposite, push it away. So that's what it's doing. And it's going to separate it from the clouds, because what this is doing is binding to the clouds in the air, making it look like what we see. Those, they're not really like the real clouds, you know what I mean? The real clouds really puffy like that one. See how it's getting puffy as that bullshit's coming off of it and going away? And how it's going away is going away that way, that it's going this way, that way, that way, that way, all around in a whole circle until it's all the way back over there and all the way over there. See, direction, all of it's going over there. Above me, you see it go this way, you see it go all in a complete circle, in a complete circle all the way around like that. It's going to go all the way from where this is at. Um, and that's all it. That's all it's out here. Really, it's nothing really special, nothing too crazy. It's just freaking three wires twisted together to make a tetrahedron pyramid. You know, there's not even a base to it. There's no base to the pyramid or to this copper pyramid or anything. But that's how genius this idea is. And that's how simple it can be done, and that's how basic and how um, you know how genius this really can be used and really is. And you don't need to buy anything offline or no fancy Oregon pyramid for hundreds of dollars or anything like that. Because I mean, you could just take three wires, twist them together, and do what I'm doing here, and just use basic stuff. Like, um, I'll get more into that right now. I'll break it down and go through each piece and just kind of explain more about that in a second. But because I'm realizing right now that a lot of people online, a lot of people in the world don't really know anything about this stuff, because this information, this knowledge, this I guess this field, I guess you could say, of scalar energy or orgone energy, the love frequency, love energy, and all that stuff is like very suppressed, due to the fact that Wilhelm Reich in the 1950s was banned from like America, viewed as like a traitor against the country, and then got sent to jail and died for changing the weather and helping farmers have good crops year round. So the government didn't like that and basically turned him from a medical marvel to a traitor of the country, or a traitor against our country, and kicked them out. And he was healing a lot of people, celebrities, regular people, athletes, all kinds of people, and, with his orgone accumulators. So he figured out how to make layers of different materials, or organic, inorganic materials, whether they're metals or different things, and basically organize them and line them up in a way to make a wall that will only allow the positive energies that heal us in through all the way until it gets to the center, which would be the accumulation chamber. So he created this chamber that basically only allows all the good energies that we can't see in this world, that will heal us, in, and it basically will reject the other energies that are coming with it that harm us. So he's learned how to separate all the energies that we can't see, by making this accumulator and knowing which materials and how they work. So he knew like this will love frequency, the love molecule will go through here, it'll go through there, it goes through this, it goes through cotton, it goes through this, it goes through the metals, it goes through. But he knew which ones it didn't go through, and he didn't use those, and he lined them up with other ones so that the negative energies will bounce out of it. If that makes sense. So basically, from that, people are now understanding this a little more now, and so and so I studied Wilhelm Reich, Tesla, Michael Faraday, Christology, and like electromagneticism, electronics, what is it called? I can't even think right now. Anyways, all that stuff, etc., and stuff from taking courses on MIT online and forcing myself to learn this stuff after I kind of stumbled on it a little bit from prospecting and getting into stones and prospecting for gemstones and gold and stuff like that. It led me into this, but and now I just constantly do this a lot. I do it everywhere and all the time. I used to make medicine wheels to do this same work, which do the same thing, and all you need is stones or rocks. You just take a bunch of rocks on the ground and create a medicine wheel, a Native American medicine wheel, tune it to magnetic north, and it will do the same thing. It could be done small too. It doesn't have to be tiny. I could take like a bunch of little tiny rocks right here and make a small little tiny medicine wheel, and it'll literally do the same thing. It does not have to be like a huge, big anything for this stuff at all. So I mean, I can make tiny little ones. Like I said, a penny, a paper clip, a magnet, and a rock off the ground will literally do this same thing like this. If you make it, if you know what you're doing. So, and you notice right there that one. See all that bush that just came off of that cloud, and look at how it's either gonna go away completely or it turns into a puffy cloud, which is the real cloud. You know, you can see it happening to this right now too. See, so all the crap is coming out of it and off of it. It's not the real cloud, and it's leaving behind the real cloud, which we should have. And at night, when you use this at night, you'll see the sky clear up, or if there's no clouds and stuff like that, like at night, what you basically see is stars appear because you'll see all the pollution, all the black shit move away. Well, you won't see it, but what's going to happen is you're going to start to see just stars start to appear above you where this is at, because this is actually clearing the sky at night too, and during the day, well, it clears the sky. So at night, it's pretty cool because it just looks like stars start to appear and shit, and then you can see more of the sky. You can see more into the sky with this, and so this and break this down. See, look, it's breaking down the cloud like it's doing to all those. It's doing to all those. See, that's the shit that's getting everybody sick. That's the stuff that's falling on people. That's how they fill up their hospitals year round, every year. That's how they population control. That's literally how they kill your loved ones with our tax dollars every day. And we're just letting them by sitting inside and ignoring this shit. So if people think it's funny or people don't believe me or don't want to accept this or whatever, that's fine. Whatever. But just know that this shit's killing us, you, your loved ones, everyone at the same time. Because if we can't breathe the air, then we all die. So period. That's just how it goes. So if you don't care about that, then it's like, what do you care about? Because if you're not helping the earth, this is the planet we all share and live on. This is our home. Then it's like, well, what are you doing here? So I don't have no sympathy. I really don't care for anybody that's really not trying to help this situation, because if we can't breathe the air, then we all die straight up. Like, so this is more important than anything and everything right now. Or it always should be. Why are you watching TV inside, ignoring this shit like everyone else? When we should be doing something about it. I could teach kids how to do this shit so easy, but yet nobody wants to do it. And everyone's like, oh, that's not real. That shit doesn't really work and blah, blah, blah. I mean, who cares, bro? I'm telling you, like, if we can't breathe the air, dude, we all die. Doesn't that matter more than some people saying, yeah, you don't listen to him. He's not right. He doesn't know any blah, blah, this, that. Dude, screw that, bro. Just do this shit so we can all not die anymore. Like, I'm tired of seeing people get COVID and all this stupid shit that's coming out, all this stupid stuff that they keep telling us and shit. It's retarded. It's just people are dying from stupidity because they're not doing this simple shit. This is the most simple shit that could save the whole planet, the whole earth, and everything. It'll literally, if we put one of these on every block, on every block, like on the planet, like, do you understand what that means? Do you understand what will happen? That means that we can control the weather forever. We make sure there's no more chemtrails ever again, like in the entire planet. If we had one of these and people were doing this shit and understood it and did this, like, we would take over. They'll be game over, like, for them, for pretty much. Simple way to win this whole fucking thing, this whole war, this been going on for ages and fucking millennia, since the dawn, before the dawn of time, even this holy war that started into the here into now. It's like, dude, come on, we could win this shit right now if we weren't so stupid. Like, that's what it literally comes down to. These ones had to literally dumb us down so much to the point so they can hope that we don't literally figure any of this out or anything, because that's how easy it really is to do this shit and to just do life and to just be like conscious. You just use the mind and use the brain, and the mind never forgets. So it's like, this shit's in you. If it's not resonating with you, I don't know how it's not. It has to, because it has to resonate with anybody and everybody who's breathing on Earth. Because if you're on Earth and you're breathing, I'm pretty sure you like doing that. So if you want to continue doing it, I suggest you listen and start doing this stuff every day, and help others start doing it, and do it as much as possible everywhere, and make sure that there's a lot of people doing it, because when there's one person doing it, what happens? They always stop that person, they kill that person, they take that person, this and that, and then nobody gives a fuck, and then everything's still the same or worse. So if we just got more people to do this shit, they wouldn't be able to do that. Period. So as long as we have a gang of people doing this shit all the time and the information out there is correct, then there should be no problem. But that's why right now, and every time I've seen some Orgonite community online from back then till now, because I've been doing this shit for like 9+ years now, and heavily, like, very extensive. I even started taking courses and classes to study this stuff and learn it. Well, not this stuff, but like, studying electromagneticism, crystals, different things. You can study stuff like that. Scalar energy, Tesla's work. I studied Wilhelm Reich like crazy, and it's hard to study Wilhelm Reich. Very difficult, because they ruined all his journals and his actual logs and his actual data, his work that he had. So it's like not really out there. It was all destroyed in public in front of everybody in the 1950s to make a mockery of these things, and these things were actually illegal in the 1950s in America. So in 1950s in America, people were actually didn't were told that these things are like harmful. They're not going to work. This guy's a traitor. He's got kicked out the country. So now a lot of people still in their minds would think that this stuff's like some hocus pocus or some bad juju or some conjuring up demons or something like that. Like when I start making the medicine wheels and stuff, people are like, "What do you make conjuring demons in my house, or what the hell's that?" and stuff. But it's not anything like that. You know what I mean? So, but people think this stuff because what happened to Wilhelm Reich in the 1950s and what they were preventing people to understand and know since then till now. And since the 1950s till now is actually the 1950s is the time when people had the highest IQ, and that when it actually started going down, now people are at the all-time low. So I mean, that just goes to show you, like, the example that's set from manipulating people, causing fear into people. They literally took all these things out of people's homes, threw them on the streets. What his work, what Wilhelm Reich's work, and literally burnt it all in front of people to make a mockery of him, to show people that this, you can't have this stuff. Don't If you had anything like this or anything similar to it in your house, it was illegal, literally in the 1950s. So a lot of people just don't think of this stuff in a good or classic way anymore since then. So that's why a lot of people are still suppressing this knowledge online. It's funny because a lot of people will be happy to find, like, oh, cool, an Orgonite community online. That's cool, yeah. And it's just like every time since like 9 years ago till now, it seems that like most of those people and a lot of those people are always like some dark workers or dark stalkers, like in disguise, trying to pretend to be enlightened, conscious people, teaching everyone these things but wrong, telling them to do everything but one little thing missing or one little thing backwards or something like that. You know what I mean? To cause confusion instead of actually um, promoting the consciousness and promoting the cause and stuff. People are actually trying to fit in and look like they're part of this, but I noticed, since I know a lot about this shit, I noticed it right away. I'm like, damn, these people are selling these things and people are buying them and they're getting away with it. And it's like, what? Say what the fuck, for real? And they're making them like that, like backwards on purpose. So, and then when I do call them out on it, it's like a lot of people just end up getting mad at me and tell other people, don't listen to him. Like, he didn't know what he's talking about. But they never come at me science. They never come at me with no science or no facts or no nothing to, you know, to contradict what they're saying, or to counterattack what I'm saying, or to counter what I'm saying. So it's like, if you can't come at me with no facts and you don't have nothing to say for it, then it's obvious that what I'm saying is correct about what they're doing. Because if people are selling this stuff in the first place, that's kind of weird. Because if these things really do what I'm saying, like this, and we need to heal our skies and our earth more importantly than anything, then why are you holding these things and not giving them out or putting them out there for them to be used in this way? Like, you're just gonna hold them from anybody and everybody. Like, oh, you can't have it unless you pay this much money, and then I can give it to you. Like, then we don't need your device, bro. We don't need that shit. Then you don't need to be doing this, and you shouldn't be like promoting anything with this stuff like that, because the only reason why these things should be made and why I'm teaching people how to make it PoorMans Orgonite, poor man style, from anything that you probably already have at home. And it doesn't need to look pretty, it doesn't need to look like cool, it doesn't need to like sell for a bunch of money at all, like for anyone or anything at any moment for any time, because this is more important. This shit right here, breathing and living, is way more important, and just peace on earth is way more important than any money you can make from anybody or anything that you could sell to anybody to try to improve your situation. Isn't really impressing me at all. Isn't really like making me think that what you're doing is noble or any way, shape, or form good. Because right now is not the time to make money, people. The world's going to end anyways. Money is not going to matter soon. So it's like, why are you still trying to capitalize on people? You know? And it's like, the real truth is like, just heal people, man. Help people around you. Help everyone. Help this animal. Help these plants. Help this earth. Like, that's what it really comes down to. If we don't care, when are we going to start caring? So, I'm trying to teach people what took me like 9 years, 10 years to learn, and I'm teaching it to you in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. If you have the heart and like conscious to like take it and apply it, that's up to you. But hopefully this resonates enough to make you do some shit like that, because I mean, obviously you care about your loved ones, and obviously you probably have, people in this world that, you know, are affected from this shit, because this is our tax dollars that they're just using to kill us. Like, you pay taxes and this is what they're doing with it, and you're just gonna sit in your home and let them? Like, that's fucking weird, dude. Why? Like, what's wrong with people? Like, you're just gonna pay all these taxes, let them fucking rip you off in every way, shape, and form, and then you're still gonna go to work and you're still gonna listen, you're still gonna use their banks, you're still gonna do this, you're still gonna pay the gas prices, you're still gonna do everything on. Like, when are you gonna, for once, like, just be people again and just do what we need to do and stop listening to them, and everything will stop. Like, stop getting gas, stop going to the gas station, take all your money out from the bank at the same bank so we can end this shit already. Like, like, why don't everybody go to one bank and take out all the money from all their accounts out that bank, so we could fucking sue them for fraud, and make this whole fucking shit collapse already. Like, do it. Just do it already. So fucking fuck word, dude. Fuck everything. Like, just do what we need to do already. Like, this shit's enough. Like, if people are so scared and everything to do all this stuff, and it's like, why? It's just getting worse. You want to keep these ones in charge? Okay, that's weird. You don't even know these people. Like, you don't even know these ones, how what they really do, and they're just tricking all of us, and then you're helping them. It's like, I don't know. Go figure. Anyways, one more thing I wanted to point out too: when you have these tuned to magnetic north, when it's a pyramid, so you can tune it to magnetic north from either side. You just point the side towards north, wherever north is at, north's that way. Um, but you'll notice when you have them tuned to magnetic north, or you have these out, um, integrate them with living organisms. They work better. This is a scalar device right now, but it'll be an orgon device if I put it with the plant or integrated it with the living organism, or wore it myself. Oh, and that's another good sign too. When you see helicopters flying by like that, see, they had to come check it out, because look at what I'm doing to the skies. They get electromagnetic spikes on their electromagnetic radars, and they have like electromagnetic radars in their planes, and so they come check out the spike, because it's throwing off a lot. And then they might think it's like a electrical problem that they might need to send somebody out to come fix, so they come check it out, and it's like really nothing going on, so, or nothing that's really um, that they need to be concerned about, because it's just this. But they start to catch on eventually. That's why I have people missing and all kinds of weird shit happening in my life, not just because of this, but because of other things I do and the healing that I do, and just do a lot of positive work, a lot of light working, and they don't like that. So now I'm in this situation that I'm in now, I'm always in, but people are missing this and that, everything's going wrong. But it's gonna all change really, really soon, and it can't be like that forever. So whatever black magic and whatever stuff and tricks they think they're using that are actually working, it's not. And eventually, it's gonna run out, and the table's gonna turn. And once they see how much it's on my side and how much I have to throw back at them, it's gonna be game on, game over for them. So I can't really trip or be mad about anything, because I'm waiting for my time to shine, and for my time to glow. So it's about to be here any minute now. So it's all good, dude. Whatever sacrifices I've gone through and made were really necessary, anyways, to get to this point. So I can't go backwards. I'm never gonna go backwards. I'm just gonna keep going forward. So they could take it, everyone from my life, fuck it, and I'm still gonna do this shit. I'm still gonna tell people the truth, and I'm still gonna play this shit in my music. I'm still gonna add this to everything I do, and teach people and show people and promote like the light, and promote life and pure life, and show people more of this Jesus work, like straight up. And that's what it really comes down to. It's just like, come on, people, we could all be Jesus, bro. And everyone's like, no, there's only one Jesus. I'm like, come on, bro, seriously. I'm always trying to like motivate people, and you're just gonna say that, like, okay. Like plus in the Old Testament, he said not to like worship him like that. Like he just said he's the Son of God. Like he's a messenger, he's not really like God. You know what I mean? That's what he said. But a lot of people want to argue and be like, he is God, blah blah, because the church is whatever, dude. I'm like, say whatever, you can believe whatever you want, but in the end, if you want to breathe and you want your kids to live and breathe and not get sick or COVID, then maybe hear me out. So peace. Oh yeah, I'll go into breaking down this shit right now. Break this down too. All right, so check it out. So we just got on top right here a Triskelion, the Triskelion that I made, and I just bent it so that there's three spirals. You know what I mean? Basically, you could put like, I was thinking about putting like a little rock in there, like a little stone, and then putting this on top, and that'll be like a sick, quick, easy way to make Orgonite. Like very powerful way to make it too. You could stick your geometry with a Triskelion or the Hetica, and then bending it like this and making it like this, will make it like a Faraday cage. And also too, it's like a pyramid now. See how there's like a 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. So it's like a pyramid. So you can see the pyramid like that. So you can use this and tune it to wherever magnetic north is at. That makes it even more powerful. So it's a Faraday cage, uh, sacred geometry. You put it over a rock, real simple. You tune it to magnetic north. All that combined together makes these things really powerful, even though it's a super small device. So keep that in mind, and make sure the spirals are always spinning to the right. So you want them to be going to the right. Like look inside the spiral in the inside, and if it's going to the right, then that's correct. If it's going inside to the left, like this, inside to the left, people think that's going to the right because it looks like it's going to the right, right? It's going like that. But if the inside's spinning to the left, that's to the left. Trust me, I studied this stuff for a long time. I've gone over these concepts so many times with pendulums and everything to figure all this out. And you can go ahead and figure it out yourself and try to douse and figure it out, divinate it yourself if you want. I mean, I wouldn't say not to. I would say go ahead and do so, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of work to do all that. So it's like I'm trying to give people what took me 9 years, 10 years to learn in minutes. So you could just apply this, and there you go. So uh, yeah. But for anyone that wants to, like, check it, I don't, dude, thank you. Like, check it and tell me, let me know if I, need to correct something, or if I'm wrong or something. I need to rephrase something or do something different. Like, I'm all for that. Like, just let me know for sure. Like, if anyone figured out anything that I didn't know, or something different about what I'm telling you, then just like, let's talk about it. Tell me what you know. Let's see what we got. let's see what we can do, how we can revise this, make it better, if that's the case, you know. So I have no, um, I have nothing wrong. I have nothing to say about, nothing wrong to say about uh, collective criticism and shit. So, anyways, so we have the Triskelion. Boom, just made a copper. That's it. It's a Triskelion, the Hetica. Okay, and then we got this Moldavite with this Moldavite that I wrapped with SBB coil, going all the way around it. It's like a Faraday cage. It's gonna be a Faraday cage if I put enough metal around it everywhere. And so here's the back. Still working on it, still designing it. Don't really know how I want it to look yet, because it's going to be a piece to wear. It's a jewelry piece. It's going to be like an amulet to wear and shit. But anyways, I use this on there as well. Um, and this was kind of like experimental, because this still isn't really completed or finished yet. And having some of these some of these parts the way I have them might not really be effective, or the best effective way to go about making this. So I'm still in the works about finishing this one. But in the meantime, um, I was going to use it with this to see if this will work and power this up, because this is um, just another jewelry piece I made. I think it's kyanite, something simple, Faraday cage. Of course, it's not like fucking ever. Um, what's the word I'm saying? Focusing like when I wanted to. Damn it, dude! I swear I hate these fucking phones. These cell phones are so stupid. Come on, man. Damn. There you go. Okay, so piece of kyanite. Oh goddamn! This goes out of focus again. But so this is a real simple um, design that I did, and it's just a tiny ass rock, dude. Tiny ass stone. That's all it is. Tiny ass stone, little piece of copper wrapped around like that. That's it. This one's even smaller. It's just simple things, like it doesn't even take that long to make. It's not even difficult. You don't need no fancy orgone pyramids with these resins and all that shit, because people are making them with the resins anyways. They're leaving them empty so they can look pretty and look cool. You can see inside them. But if you leave them empty, then it's like there's all that space in there and there's nothing there, and you're just buying resin. It's just like people are selling them for all this money, and it's like really like they're selling them for super expensive for all this money, banking off of people making gang of money, when they're just putting like a couple crystals thrown in there randomly, scattered in there, not even placed like intelligently or nothing like that. Not even placed for its functionality or anything. Like it's just thrown in there. They're just like throwing them in there. They put a few in there, put this, sprinkle that in there, put that, pour this in, and just let it like it's supposed to work. Because I've done stuff like that when I first started getting into this stuff. And from my experience from doing the freezing technique with water, if you freeze a cup of water with these underneath it, you'll get you'll understand what they do more. So I did that a lot with all my pieces in the past, and I started to learn how to make pieces and make orgonite devices that can actually make a beam shape, a beam shape vortex, or a cone shape vortex, or a very chaotic vortex, or a vortex that'll break the cup, or a vortex that will like lift out the cup, or a vortex that will like literally a slow turning vortex. So one with more spins, one with less spins, one with faster spins, one with spins going this way, and one going the opposite way. One with you can make a vortex, one vortex of direction of a vortex going both ways. So I made one where I froze the ice and there was lines going this way and lines going that way, but more this way. And you can control all that. Like there's a way to make these devices to go ahead and control all that and even more. So I started to learn how to like basically make different vortexes and control the vortexes and make pieces and devices. And I started to learn which of my devices were actually more effective for doing stuff like this because of those tests and because of those things. So I did a lot, and so that's how I was able to learn like these principles that I'm teaching and stuff are very very effective for making good vortexes and making um, this to heal and making this to work to benefit us and stuff like that. So again, this is just a basic. There's not even a bottom to it. It's just three um, I can't even speak, but three wires, 3 copper wires. You twist them together, twist them to the right, like everything goes to the right. So just start spinning it to the right, like that. Spin it to the right, and then you can use this and say you can use it as a pendulum. If you know pendulums or you know dowsing, you can hold it very lightly at the top and ask it, tune to magnetic north, and it'll spin. See, turning, go directly to it. So it's right there. You put it down. Oh shit, I fucked up. But you want to put it down wherever it tells you magnetic north is at. Tune to magnetic north. There. See how it moves? So if I had it over here, I'm like tune to magnetic north. It's gonna be like, see, it moves like how people do with the rods when they're finding gold and shit. They hold their metal rods in their hands and they walk and they see them crossing and doing all kinds of shit. It's the same concept. It's the same thing. You could use a pendulum too. I could hang this on a string and hang it and let it dangle, and it'll do the same thing. I could be like, show me magnetic north, and it'll start moving towards magnetic north and shit. If you can hold that thought in your head without thinking anything else, if you can focus on that question long enough without being biased and stuff like that, it will literally give you a reading to that question. But it's not easy to douse, and you can get false readings from doing it if you don't know what you're doing. But for those that do know and who do this or want to do dowsing, it's a great thing. It's a great thing to have a skill in your artillery and arsenary to basically like learn anything and everything. It's just better than Google and better than going online to learn shit, because this is how I learned so much information about this technology and this stuff, because like I said, this knowledge is suppressed, a lot of it. So how did I figure it out? Pendulums, studying as much as I can about it, basically learning everything about it, good and bad, and everything in between, and then deciphering what was right from that, and then pendulums. So I think getting rid of technology and going on spiritual like journey for like 7 years, and basically just because I was targeted so much and shit, I basically had to do it, and it worked. It helped for a little bit, but they still fuck with you and everything. But they just don't know where you're gonna go and where you're gonna be when you have like they do when you have a cell phone. When you have a cell phone, they're like already there and shit like all the time. So, anyways, so we just took this. You can use it like a pendulum. You could use it to douse with too. So that's another secret about this simple design, this pyramid that you can make from 3 wires. It's just like the basic thing you could do, but it's like the most like I think like smartest way to go about doing this PoorMans Orgonite style. And so you could use this one thing for so many different ways and so many different things, and it's such a powerful tool to use, and it's not like hard to make. It's not even a complete pyramid on the bottom either. It's not like a complete one. So, but it still works like one, because all you have to do is put it down like that. Boom, it's a pyramid. You know what I'm saying? And with a rock underneath it like that, it's fucking orgone and scalar. When it's tuned to, or when it's a scalar, but when it's connected to a living organism, it's an orgone. You know what I mean? So all this is sacred geometry. So, and all this is gonna work. See how when I took it apart, how they stopped going like that, like that, like that, like that, and then look, they started coming back right over me, like all that stuff. And look, that cloud even looks like a skull, like a skull with like an evil face on it. It looks like a skull face, like grunting at me, like getting mad that I was moving them and shit. Like it looks like Zeta and shit, a little cat. Anyways, damn, dude, look, see what happened when I took it apart. The stuff started coming back. It started coming back when I was pushing it away. Now it starts coming back because I took it apart. See those clouds over there? How they're all puffy. The black still underneath it, still like rolling away. It's probably coming back now because I have this like just falling into these laid out the wrong way. Like, if you put these like the wrong way or just chaotically, like if I just got these and threw these like this right here, just because these are like organite and they're supposed to bring healing and all this stuff like that, if they're not laid out correctly or placed correctly or not made correctly, they're not going to work correctly. So if I just got these and threw them randomly like this and just basically left them like that can cause like headaches and cause sicknesses, fatigue, or over time can be very bad, and cause the chemtrails to come back and cause nano bots and fucking smart dust and Morgellons and shit to literally fall on you and shit by doing stuff like this. So even though all these things are made and you just seen them work right now and they were healing, but now since I have them just chaotically thrown and placed, however, then it can actually work against you like that. So that's what I'm trying to teach people about. People are doing the molds and the resin, like that's cool. I don't mind anybody doing that. That's fucking dope. But when you're just throwing shit in there like randomly and just letting it sit and then putting the resin on the top, that could work. But what I'm telling you too is it can also not work. And it probably also not works very well more than it does work if that's what you're doing. Because what the idea is to actually place them and do shit with this stuff that actually makes sense as a function, like as a device. Like this is a button on the bottom too, like, and you can squeeze it a little because it's a fucking Faraday cage. Like, see how it squeezes a little bit? You put pressure on it, it puts more vortex out. When you push it like that, like a button, they let go. You know what I mean? So these are devices, and I've been making them with functions. Some have more buttons and features, and others are made for certain things only and stuff like that. And I do all kinds of different techniques to do different functions and different devices for different things. So when people are making these molds, they're not really considering any of that. They're just throwing everything in there, throwing it in there, thinking that that's going to work, and that can work. I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. But what I'm saying is when it's chaotically like thrown in there and you don't really like not placing anything or putting anything in no substantial way, like then Orgonite could be bad like that. Like it can cause door energy, which is DOR, and actually it's a silent death tone zone. It's silent death tone, so basically it could be bad. So you got to really be careful what you're doing with these. Like if I had one that was supposed to be put like this only, not like this, not like this, not like this, not upside down or anything like that, but it has to only go like this. Let's just say I made this piece to only go like this. That's the way it's going to work to heal. Okay. So if it's made like that, and let's just say somebody fucking just, dropped it and fell over and it just stayed like this for a second or for a couple of days or for a week or for a month and nobody knew it was there, that could be really bad. That can be very, very, very bad. You know what I mean? For the atmosphere, for everything, for anyone around it, for everything around it, that can be horrible. I'm not saying this piece is going to do that, but what I'm saying is that can happen. So you got to be careful when you're doing this stuff. You have to really think about what you're doing. You can't just always throw shit in there and place things how people are doing, because a lot of the pyramids that I see people making with the resins, that's what I'm seeing happening. People are just throwing scrap metals in there. They're not even breaking them down, or like they're just throwing them in there randomly and with no crystals in it too. They're just putting metals in by itself, and when you put metals like together by themselves thrown in, if you get a cup, you just put a bunch of metals in it randomly and then like put another cup of water on top of it and freeze it, you're gonna see some crazy shit happen to that fucking cup of water. It's gonna freeze. It's probably gonna break the cup. It's gonna have all these cracks. It's gonna look ugly. It's gonna look crazy. It's gonna be messed up, and that's how chaotic that shit gets. So it's like when people are doing that, and I see that just because it has crystals on top that are thrown randomly too on top of it, making it more chaotic, isn't really such a good idea. Is what I'm trying to tell people. So it'd be best to just break everything down, or not even break everything down. If you have nice pretty crystals, don't break them down or mess them up. What I'm saying is use dirt, use sand. That shit's already broken up and it's already silica and quartz. Silica and quartz is everywhere, and you can just use sand. You don't have to use no cool nothing looking anything. Just use sand, throw that shit in there with some fucking metals. I took the brakes, the powder from the brake disc from cars, so all that black fucking the black shit that comes off the brake disc from cars, I collected a gang of that shit, and I basically use that with the sands, and I make fucking really strong really strong Orgonite pieces with just those. And I use tea light candles. I get two of the tea light candles that are empty, and I put them together to make a hockey puck, and I just fill them up with sands and fucking those metals, and sometimes with a magnet inside or steel wool or whatever I got to use. It's simple, basic stuff. You do not have to use any fancy anything. You know what I mean? So, but you do have to be very conscious and pay attention to how you set shit up. So when I went about setting this up, um, like I knew already that this works very well, just like this as tuned to magnetic north, boom, just like that with the rock under it, right? But I didn't have a rock big enough that was going to fit under it, so I had to think, okay, maybe I just use the Orgonite pieces I had. These things work too, just like this. They work great. They heal. Cool. This works too. This one might work. I have to test it out. This one will work as a Hedica, but I'm not sure if it's going to work bent, so I'm trying it out. So here I go. And so what I did was I said, you know, usually I put these on the bottom, somehow the right way so that it's always working good. I didn't have time for that. I didn't even make a bottom to it. So I said, screw that. I'm just going to put them on top. Boom. So I just wanted to see, like, if this is going to work. This could be a good idea or a bad idea. Just like throwing random stuff in the resins could be a good idea or a bad idea, because I'll tell you why. Because I don't know if this is going to be um, healing in the end from doing it this way. Because look, oh yeah, see, like that. Because this is actually going like up like that, that's gonna work. But if this was actually maybe like this, or actually like that, it could actually be opposite and not work. That's what I was afraid of from doing this. So I wasn't sure if this was gonna be angled enough in a way to be throwing the energy outright. So, but it is. It's actually working pretty good, and I'm pretty sure I can get it more better if I tried with two hands instead of one hand. But anyways, so the key to doing this is like, yeah, see, that one's hanging down in a way where the energy's still gonna come out up. This is gonna still come out up. So like I said, if this was maybe like that, or like maybe see if it was like that, maybe it wouldn't work that well, or maybe it still would barely work, or who knows? That's what I'm trying to find out. So it's what it takes. See, that's why I like using pendulums for this stuff, because instead of testing it, waiting, and seeing yourself with the pendulum, I can just find out right now. I'll be like, I can just ask, figure it all out with the pendulum, simple like that, right on the spot. And I don't have to wait days or do experimenting or anything like that. So that's with the pendulum. Anyways, with this, I just put this on here like this on top, and it did work. Earlier, it was working great. I just leave it like that, something like that. But anyways, I just wanted to show people like how easy this shit really is. PoorMans Orgonite. You don't need to buy no fancy Orgon pyramids from people who are making them wrong anyways, and people who are selling them, making money out of this stuff. That's not what they're for. You're supposed to put intentions of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Put intentions of healing and stuff like that. So if your intentions are making money off of these things and making them wrong, and putting that out there, then that's kind of crazy. So those are the people that are calling out, and those are the people that I see everywhere online. A lot of these Orgonite communities, a lot of the admins and people from these communities are like just posers, just trying to sell you some shit that's crap. And because a lot of people don't really know anything about this stuff. So here I am trying to clear all that mess, and peace and love. All right, so yeah, this might not work like that, but I think, oh yeah, it'll work like that. That'll work pretty good like that. Yeah, that works. Yeah, I can tell that's gonna work. So then you take this, and then you just say, tune to magnetic north. Get off me, fly. Tune to magnetic north. And there it is, right there. And as soon as I did that, it got windy, and the plants started vibing and moving and shit. Oh yeah, one more thing I want to mention too. When you have this, see, look at the gray was coming back, the black was coming back, and as soon as I put it down, you're gonna see it's gonna start pushing away. Look, the gray was coming back, all that shit was coming back. As soon as I took it apart and I had them chaotically put down, that's the point I wanted to make. When people are making these resin molds and making these pyramids, if you're just throwing it in there and throwing the metals in there and not even breaking them down or putting them in there intelligently in a way that's going to function and work as a scalar device, then it's pretty much going to cause more shit to come back, and more it's not going to work right. It's not going to be healing you at all. It could probably cause fatigue, headaches, death, organ failure, all this stuff. Not real quick, but over time, it's subtle. Remember, these are subtle energy devices. So that's what it really is. But so anyways, when you have these right, and they're made right, tuned right, three signs that they're made right and they're working correctly. One, the helicopter comes. Like as soon as you fucking make it, it's made correctly, the helicopters will come. That's one sign. Second sign is you'll see a hole in the sky and everything move away, all the black shit push away, like how I'm showing you right now, like how I've been showing in all my videos. And this video today demonstrated how doing the opposite, or taking these apart and not having them, can cause these things to come back. So with them made correctly, placed correctly, they'll push this shit away and heal you and the earth and everything. That's the second way to know. The third way to know is if there's planes flying over you, if you push the buttons and squeeze them and shit, it'll throw more of a vortex out, and you see the plane start to fly around you in the vortex, that means they're working great. So that's another dead giveaway right there. When you see a bunch of animals following you, or birds always circling them, or coming at them, or bees or butterflies landing near you or on them, that's a good sign too. So those are all signs and those that are working good. And one last sign is you also notice that the plants always grow towards the sun in the direction of the light. But when these are out, they'll start to grow toward the direction of this. That's how beneficial they are. That's why animals follow them. That's why birds love them. That's why cats find them all the time. That's why animals are attracted to them, insects and all that stuff. Look at all these plants. You can tell if you pay attention, you can see they're all literally facing right here. These, and if there's leaves going that way, they're literally trying to turn. You can see them turning and trying to fucking come this way. Probably by tomorrow and the next day, they'll all be like. I've only had this out here for a couple of days, and now everything right here is growing towards it, like literally in the direction of it. Everything. You see those ones pointing this way. Those ones are pointing this way. Those ones are pointing this way. They were going that way, but now they're starting to point like this, come this way. You can see all leaves, even those ones are pointing that way. But if you look at them, they're starting to come this way. Everything is starting to come this way, starting to come this way towards this. Every leaf, every branch and stuff like that. You can see, even if it's going the opposite way, that everything's starting to come like this because the energy from this thing. So you notice, see, these ones are going this way. These ones are starting to come this way. These ones are starting to come this way. These over there, see them like that. They're even trying to turn a little bit and be like, hey, what about us? Like, see, it's even getting happy. And I'm talking about it. It's like it's responding because plants and everything's conscious, especially plants and trees. And those are trees. So trees are super conscious. Like if I put my hand out by a tree and said, if you're conscious, touch me, it'll start to move and shit until it touches you. Like literally. Like that's how smart they are. And so yeah, everything is going towards this. And that's another sign that you're making these correctly and they're working correctly. So there you go. I hope everyone enjoyed that. That's like a huge lecture on Orgonite and scalar energy devices, making chembusters, PoorMans Orgonite style. So everyone can have this shit. You don't need to buy no fancy expensive pyramids or all that shit. Just don't even buy anything from those people. And if there are people making this stuff correctly and selling it out there, good for you. I'm glad someone's doing it right, but you probably shouldn't be selling them either. Probably give them away more, give them out, or make them always for the earth and put them out there. Don't hold them back from people unless they give you money. That's kind of weird. So I don't care for how much they cost or whatever. Just like give them out, put them out there. So I sell my jewelry and I sell it for like $7, like no matter what, like just because you know, because I want people to have them, and I need it. I need the money to buy the copper and stuff again. So I just buy it. I sell them for like 7, just because 7 is sacred number, 8 is like a divine number too. So, just like that. So if you need to sell them, you have to sell them to just the cost or just to like get something, gas money, whatever, like stuff like that if you need. But I mean, don't always be doing that. That's not the purpose. So, all right, peace. Damn, that shit bad. I'll come back out later after like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll film again this guy, see how better it looks or how worse it looks with this out like that. So we'll come back and check it out.